Dr. Phil is an unlicensed, exploitative old man who traumatizes children and adults alike and needs to be stopped. Let's start with my first point: he's exploitative. He brings on these people after having manipulated their families into thinking that therapy won't work and he is their only option. He does not help these young children or adults as much as he uses them for views and money. A man who was on his show, via the man's parents, for his alcoholism has said how he was left in a room with vodka and mixers, like Red Bull and orange juice, for an extended period of time. This was after he arrived at the show sober with his father. Shaking, but sober. As well as this, he recounts how he was given a Xanax by the crew before going on to clear his head. This is very dangerous. He said that he had never taken the drug previously. The Dr. Phil show exploited this man and endangered him for the sake of the show. Disgusting. Point 2, he uses outdated and traumatizing methods. McGraw, when taking children to the ranch, often drags these children out of their beds in the middle of the night to a van with force, if they at first refuse, after often getting parents to sign over temporary custody to his team. How would you feel if you were dragged out of bed in the middle of the night as a child? I know I would be fucking terrified. That's the type of thing that gives you nightmares and trauma for life. No person deserves that, especially not a child. And, what do we really know about the ranch? We know it exists and that children are sent away to it, a whole other issue, but we rarely get any information about it, and even less about the long-term effects. As well as this, he also gives advice to parents as if he were a licensed professional. He is not at all. People look to him as an authority on how to help their children and he does the opposite. With the way he presents himself, he causes parents and family alike to see him as knowledgeable. His knowledge is completely outdated. Think about Daniele Bregoli. While his methods weren't, from what I can see, actually traumatic, the media outbreak from the episodes has quite possibly ruined any chance that she will get help in the near or even far future. Point 3, he doesn't use science to form his opinions. All you need to do to view this is look at his coronavirus response. Him saying the public should accept deaths for the economy is fucking disgraceful, no matter what you say. His views are completely unsupported and he seems to believe that because people die anyway that over 500,000 more deaths doesn't matter. You dying in a car accident won't spread death to others. You can't catch drowning. You can't catch a heart attack. Point 4, his show can ruin people's lives. Someone seeing your episode then meeting to you could literally ruin your life, especially with children. If their names are Googled and then someone sees something you did when you were 8 and not mature enough to understand the consequences of your own actions. Imagine the girl who thought she was pregnant with Jesus and was later diagnosed as being literally schizophrenic. Imagine how people who have seen her episode, with possible millions of views, might I add, will now automatically dismiss her as crazy. Imagine being constantly afraid about how someone who might have seen your episode will judge you. It must be awful. Also, don't forget that minors can't exactly consent to being on the show, rather their parents choose for them, so the children can't understand how this will affect them in the future, as well as their prospects. In the end, it's not really their choice. Videos I would recommend watching. https://b/70rm8xwsz8m https://youtube b/hcwtk0dclo https://youtube b/5g0bdg2i and from an actual licensed professional. https://youtube b/qssxsyv7cfq. Wait until you find out about Oprah. That's it, you're going to the ranch. Yes. I have a master's in counseling and I cringe every time someone says oh like Dr. Phil. No, not like Dr. Phil, he crapped on our profession for the almighty dollar. This is a very popular opinion amongst actual licensed psychologists. You're going to have a field day when you discover Jeremy Kyle. I'd like to put him and Dr. Oz in a box and launch them into orbit. Popular opinion. Back in the early days, when he was just appearing as a regular guest on the Oprah show, my friends and I used to make fun of him by putting on a haughty voice and twangy accent and shouting, "Now look, you need to get real," at each other. The latest Dr. Phil with the pedo dad is a clear sign it needs to be stopped. Isn't his show, and every similar drama show, all staged? People agree to come onto the show and express their dark secrets and domestic issues, which are also probably fabricated most of the time. Ever notice they always have a bunch of B-roll footage of everyone acting totally psycho? Now why would the accused, who try so diligently on the stage to act like good people, give such an over-the-top performance of their assholishness for the camera? I had a schoolmate land themselves on Jerry for a Valentine's Day special. He had a live sing-off with some dude to win over a girl they were both into. I'm 99% sure he had never met either the girl or the other guy in his life. I am the sexy vegan massager. Hi. About point 2, I was what I like to call legally kidnapped and taken to a farm. I woke up at 2 a.m. to strangers in my room. They did not tell me where I was being taken. It was a 5-hour ride and I cried the whole trip. The next time I traveled in that direction I had my first flashback. The facility I was sent to was very strict. These are some of the rules. You must ask to sit, stand, speak, walk through entrances/doorways and eat. No singing unless staff give permission on Sunday only. No eye contact with the opposite gender. Not everyone is straight, but okay, the boys and girls groups are kept separate. If you are transgender, this rule can be especially irritating. When the boys walk by, the girls must stand in a straight line and turn the opposite direction. No talking, eye contact, or body language with to/wards any other resident without a staff observing. No talking about TV, music, phones, cars, personal lives, war stories, one-upping, etc. with other residents. Be compliant. Do not argue with staff. Do not complain or argue. Do not listen to the radio. Do as you are told. You are not allowed to know what time it is. Period. You are not allowed to know what is going on in the real world. The current residents most likely do not even know about Corona. I'm not joking. There were consequences for breaking rules, including but not limited to reflection, as close as you can get to solitary confinement without breaking any laws. Residents are put in a small, one-person gazebo. They are not allowed to look at or talk to anyone unless they are asking a staff member to go to the bathroom. They may not leave the gazebo unless they have been given permission to go to the bathroom. You are to sit or stand silently and reflect about what you did to be put in the gazebo. No books, no drawing. A resident may not leave reflection and join the group until they finish their reflection. If they are not compliant after this time period, usually 1 to 2 days, they may not rejoin the group. They will remain on reflection until they are willing to follow the rules. I once spent 14 days on reflection. The record is 78. Work impact, considered a step down from reflection. Perform a task such as sawing wood, picking pebbles out of the grass, shoveling snow, etc. No talking, usually a half day, 3 days. Writing consequence, a staff has determined that you did something wrong, spoke with a tone or did something otherwise no compliant. You write an essay of the staff meme era, choosing usually about why you were wrong. It had rained earlier in the day and the deck was slippery. I ran and slid on the deck. I had to write an essay about necessary and unnecessary risks. Why I take them, and why I should not take them. Demerit, a demerit is given for a minor infraction. Demerits were worked off on Sundays. We had 3 hours of free time on Sunday to do an approved activity. If you accumulated 3 demerits through the course of the week, you worked 3 hours and missed the only free time you had. My friends did not know where I went. For 10 months nobody knew where I was. They thought I was dead. They checked the obituary for my name. If you have questions, I will do my best to answer them. This guy is such a fraud. It's scary to think this guy can just pretend to be a doctor and gets away with it. I always put Springer and Phil, I'm the same category. Daytime drama about other people's problems for people to be entertained by. Phil dresses it up a bit more is all. Still garbage. I didn't know like anything about him till I saw him on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire recently and saw how much of an ass he was. Totally made me hate the guy. What's Danielle need help with? She's a millionaire now. He literally gets paid to win debates against 19-year-olds who pop tabs all day and think they have 6 vaginas. Sounds like somebody could use a trip to the ranch. Send her to the ranch. Dr. Oz is just as bad or worse. I liked his straightforward approach YAI back in the beginning. But he turned into a Hollywood whore. This is a highly popular opinion. I love this opinion. Can we please include Dr. Oz in this rant as well? This is not an opinion, it is a fact. This is not that unpopular of an opinion, but I'm glad you said it, bro. You can tell he does some uppers too. I mean, he has the knowledge, and to me that's worse. Just like doctors, counselors should not harm, and he is doing extreme harm. Plus he cannot say he cares about these people when he drags them and their issues through the public eye. The poor people don't know any better.